Houston, we have a problem. It's not always sunshine and rainbows when you're renovating an abandoned house in rural Japan. We're going to take more of a serious house tour today, showing you the mountain of issues we have with our Akiya. One of the biggest problems that you've got coming into a traditional Japanese house like this is that the whole place is covered in tatami. So I think a lot of people would quite like tatami in their house just as a design choice. Yeah, it looks really nice, and I think from a Western perspective as well, you know, it's really different, right? And we all love a bit of different. But practically, we have a lot of like Western furniture in the house. So, you know, we have a big heavy sofa, you know, we've got a coffee table, we've got dining table and chairs and everything like that. And the problem with tatami is it's not completely solid. So over time, all of that furniture just makes these massive marks in it, almost like a rug. And I think just for day-to-day use, it's much easier just to put proper hardwood flooring in. So that's one of the biggest jobs that we've got in the house, and probably one of the biggest problems that we've got. So this is probably one of the most expensive issues that we've got with the house. This is like a more traditional build of a Japanese bathroom. So right now in modern Japanese homes, everything's built as like a contained system, or a system bath is what they're called. So essentially what that is like a big plastic tub where it's designed so that water kind of gets in through the plumbing, but it doesn't get out through any cracks in the floor or anything like that. Now, before system baths, Japanese houses used to have these kind of tile and mortar bathrooms. These, by the way, are very common in like Western houses, right? So we don't really have system baths in the West, but basically these are a nightmare for all of the surrounding timber. This house is 30 years old, so at some point in time there's always going to be a little bit of moisture that's got through and into the wood. So we're not really going to know how much of a problem this is until we demolish it. So yeah, this is probably one of the scariest issues that we've got with the house, but we're up to the challenge. So another problem that we've had with the house is kind of dealing with the rules and regulations of Japanese superstition, right? So there's certain things that you can just throw away, and there's certain things that require a certain level of respect, unless you want to invoke 10 years of bad luck, right? So I actually made a video about this with the Japanese dolls that we found in the house. So there's a certain ceremony you need to go through to get rid of those. Otherwise, you may have some, you know, some horror movie action going on in your attic, which I just don't really want that. I've been scared of dolls my entire life, right? Another example of this is these ofuda, or Shinto altars. So if you want to get rid of one of these, you're going to have to go down to your local shrine and pay a fee of like 10,000 yen. Otherwise, you're going to end up upsetting one of the gods that lives in there, which again, take that as you will, but I don't really want any bad luck following me as we go on this renovation journey. I think I've got enough problems as it is. Something that's not a problem is how cool these drawers are. Boop. Cool, huh? Another thing that's not a problem is our little statue of Hote-san. So Hote is actually one of the 7 lucky Buddhist gods, and he is famous for bringing happiness, health, family harmony and wealth to the house. So I think he'll be staying. Now, one of the most pressing issues we've got with the house is drainage, right? So up there on the second story, the gutter is absolutely shot. So we've had like a gutter specialist come round and give us like a quote. So we're just waiting for that, and then we'll be getting that done professionally. Now, seeing as that's so high up, it's not really a job that you can kind of do it yourself. You really do need kind of professional level scaffolding, which obviously we don't have. You know, safety first and all that. We'll get that done by the professionals. Now, when we actually took ownership of the house, this place was like a jungle, right? So we chopped down like, I don't know, like 10 or 15 trees. We had a load of like overgrown bushes everywhere. And it just seemed like nature was kind of winning. So as a result of that, we have got a massive pile of green waste. So we're currently working through this, and the way that we're doing that is we're kind of sorting the smaller, thinner branches and putting that to one side. And with that, our neighbour has said that we can use their wood chipper, which is really handy. If you don't have a friendly neighbour, you can just rent them from like a hardware store or you know, like a Comeri or Daiuei or somewhere like that. And you can get them rented out like on a daily or weekly basis. And then the thicker wood that's not going to go through a shredder, we're basically just loading that up on the truck and taking it down to the gomi centre or clean centre, just as burnable waste. So that costs us about like 2,000 yen for 100 kgs. So there's probably like, I don't know, like 2, 3, 4 truckloads of heavy wood in here, and then the rest of it we're just going to shred. Now, probably one of the toughest problems that we've got with the house is a problem with the land around our foundation. So obviously we're out in the countryside now, and you've got so much kind of plant growth to deal with every single year. And I think the previous owner was just like cutting the grass around the house and just letting it sit. Obviously over time, this is just kind of raised and raised and raised, right? And we now got a situation where our foundation is actually slightly lower than the ground around it. So obviously this presents a problem where we need to come up with like a bit of a smart drainage solution, as well as we're going to be just kind of leveling the earth a bit around the house, and just kind of you know, just making it so that water's not just coming into our foundation, because obviously that's a big problem over time. So another one of our massive life's problems is this sort of janky gravel road. So these are actually very common in the countryside in Japan. It's called a Jari road. We've obviously got a lot of work to do on this to make it actually usable for our normal size car. My truck gets up it just fine, and I think the van will too. But ideally I'd like to kind of shore up the sides and just make it a little bit wider so we can actually get our car up there. So that's a pretty good overview of the problems we have with our Akiya, for now anyway. If you've got any suggestions, I am all ears, so please let me know in the comments. We'd love it if you could stick around for the journey, so please do like and subscribe to watch this whole thing unfold. Lastly, wishing you all the best, and for now, peace.